Welcome back to another Alliance War video. We got 4 Loki versus Revod. They are doing real well this season. They are in top 10 masters, so this is actually a war for whoever gets top 10 masters. They banned Falcon, Ghost, and Tigra. And I'm going to show you a clip of something that happened later on in the war. This is a Chavez on node 39, and of course, you know, last war of the season for top 10. And you know, you gotta just love Chavez and her lovely AI. But we'll get to that fight a little bit later. For now, I'm on path 5 in section 1. I'm splitting this. Captain America, Wags, and Professor X. I'm kind of upset with myself because I during planning I chose to split some paths. I was just trying to get some of my alliance mates a few more fights last war of the season, and it ended up costing us a death. And I should have just gone with the original assignment, which what I sent to officer chat so they could review and they were okay with. The fight was still manageable where we died, but it just we had a just so much better counter with the original plan. But here I have Mr. Negative. White Magneto pre-fight, Professor X immune to reverse control, so just carry heavy. I don't really care about his light energy. Which is going to cost me some potions, but basically, you know, full boosted, and just going to build to my special 3. I want to push him to his special 2 because I can dex most of it, and I'm not going to dex the last hit in war because I don't want to get clipped. So here he throws it, dumps his power. Perfect time. I have the protection down. Throw the SP3. I am not mutant boosted here though, because I will be taking a Wong with Captain America next, and I didn't want to waste a mutant boost here, so I'm just going to kill him with my SP2. I was hoping he would dash at me, and he doesn't, but the SP2 kills anyways. The next fight is that Wong. Originally I had Omega Sentinel instead of Cap, and I was going to take this with Professor X. I've done this before. I just wanted to be very cognizant of making sure that Wong throws a special before I kill him with my SP3 spam. And with Captain America, I wanted to do the same thing, but in the fight, you'll see that I don't kill him with an SP2, and I actually just lose track of that mechanic of Wong's. So as the fight starts, I just parry heavy, and I am science boosted here, and sometimes I don't like doing that because I can very easily get too much power before I have kinetic charges. So there I blocked that last hit of the special 1 to get another kinetic charge. And you see that 24%. I'm like, okay, so again, I'm trying to block the special 1 to get the glancing up, and here I'm like, okay, throw it, and it has 101k, but he I should have baited that special 1 and it would have killed him and it would have been fine. But now I have a crossfight charge on Cap, so I'm not going to use him for the one fight that I was thinking about using him for, which is in America Chavez later on with a clip that we saw earlier. But I'm on path 4 now, and this is the first fight of path 4, and it's just Professor X. I'm just going to parry heavy into my special 3. I have 2 charges up on X. I am ramping up for the boss, so here I'm just going to do a parry heavy. So the next fight after this is the fight that I had Omega Sentinel. It's a Havoc, and it's crumbling armor, and basically the node removes an armor up when you have one. If you don't hit him in time, you can't parry, and Havoc basically goes unblockable when he stacks more than 3 debuffs. So the thought process is, I've done that fight with Omega Sentinel as well, and it went really well. I can basically just lose the armor break and always have an armor up for his charges. But I sent a Nimrod there, and I didn't fully explain what you know, the interaction to my alliance mates. So it ended up costing us. He lost track of his armors, and then he was unblockable the whole time, and yeah, that was all she wrote. But here it's just an SB3 spam fest. Just parry heavy. Yet this fight has been done loads of times this season, so not really too much into it. But you know, it happens. It was the only death from an assignment perspective in this war, I believe. So that kind of stings, because we could have really avoided that. But now I have this Chavez on 39. So I was talking to my friend Blunt Money about his interaction with Chavez, and I was just like, man, she throws heavies like crazy. And I've had relatively good luck with her all season, although a few times it got kind of hairy with Captain America. But I just know that I'm due for some craziness. And sure enough, this fight starts, and a heavy right to start. I'm like, okay, go to parry, and a heavy right to start, and then I'll go, okay, fine, just one negative zone, just whatever. And she throws another heavy. I lose 2 of my indestructible hits, and I'm like, that's not what. And then she throws another heavy, and I'm like, okay, at this point, I need her to throw these special ones without me dexing, and she does right here, actually. So don't dex. I don't want to add to MD. And I'm thinking, like, okay, I need to basically build up to 100 charges and mind control her, so I can I can special lock her and then get to my special 3. But she throws another heavy there. I should have heavy charged into that, but I throw my special 3, and the node is bugged, so I can actually still get my my damage in, but my damage is gimped for whatever reason, so I don't pop out of it. I have to throw this special 2. Thank God that she actually like runs into me, and it does massive damage, because that would have just been dead after that. But Chavez is Chavez. So next we have this Spider Ham, and we've done this a few times now, in a row. So this time I'm making sure I have my class boost. I'm using a regen boost, just I have them, and just chip damage basically as the fight goes, starts. But I'm just gonna, hold block and just hit him, just to turn, turn brute force off, and that's all basically it. I'm gonna just get him to under a bar, and then heavy charge and hit him. I'm at my vigilance, so now I don't have to worry about his evades or anything. I just want to make sure that I don't get, pork poppers on me. But once that happens, everything's all good. The vigilance kind of protects me. I hate, that I parried there, because I'm gonna take chip damage, but I get a taunt on me, so that kind of helps with willpower. And at this point, I don't have to take any block damage if he's at a special 1. So he throws this SB1. I'm on a heavy counter, and I'm almost ramped. I have a Vaulter up, so I decided to use it to get to 100 charges. And that is all she wrote for spam. And then I have a Knull boss to close the season out. So let's just get through this animation. So Knull, all season long, basically the plan is to not get cornered, so dex at the beginning, and then just push him back, hit his block, or if he throws a heavy, then push him back with 2 or 3 hits, and then you have some spacing to work with where you can kind of dex and remove his living abyss charges. First off, his Knull is not max sig, so I was like, oh, okay, it didn't really matter. He still had over 3 debuffs, but you see that I'm going to throw my Power Start 1 boost, because I want to get to my special 3 sooner than later. But I'm going to start the fight, and this Knull is probably the most passive Knull. Not probably, it definitely is the most passive Knull I fought all season. And you'll see that it kind of threw me off, because he dashes away from me. I'm like, alright, great. And he throws a heavy right away, and I'm like, at this point, I'm like, well, come at me. I need to get some dexes in. I have some spacing. I'm like, okay, I have 3 dexes. I need another one. So, come on. You see how he's not really coming at me? And I'm like, come on, dude. I need you to dash at me now. I need one more, and then he clips me, and I'm like, you know, my falter protects me from another hit, but then I heavy charge thinking I have it, so that was all. Then I got kind of spooked. I was like, what was I doing there? So not the best fight for me at all. But then I get into swinging things here, and he throws a special one. I'm gonna block it to build detox charges and just, you know, kind of ramp up. I'm at 100 charges at this point, and I'm like, all right, just take some chip damage, and it'll be all good. I wanted him to push me to a special 3 and beta heavy to go to heavy charge, and that's all she wrote. So not the cleanest of fights by any means. I am running max recoil here. I'm fully ramped, and I have a Professor X White Magneto synergy, so it'll help with all my damage and whatnot. But let's get through this this Knull and get to the end of the season stats. It's going to be quite interesting what happens with the next meta. Knull is still a great boss because of his reverse controls, his ability to go unblockable. So I'm assuming that Wiccan just has to be the answer. Professor X can do it, but essentially you cannot afford to get hit by any means. So a full dex of the SB2 would be needed. If you happen to mess that up, you are getting clipped, and it can hurt with all those armor breaks. So yeah, this season was great with this attacker global. It made lots of champs useful in other ways. I had 9 boss solos this season out of the 12 wars. I could have had one more. Andrew took a Joe Fixit boss from me that I wanted to take, but it was assigned to him, and I really wanted to take it, but it's all right. So he had an awesome season, by the way, too. He took some massively difficult fights with Kitty, and not the regular Kitty dash back type of style. But let's take a look at the stats. I went 89-3. The LVT wars where I died 3 times, and that really hurt because outside of that war, I think I had a pretty good season. And you know, I finally got to take some bosses this season. I hadn't done that in For Loki as of yet. We went 9-3 overall, and we hit top 10, so that's always awesome for the Alliance. We are going to be, you know, losing Vega. Unfortunately, it was great playing with him, but I'm sure our paths will cross. I have a streak of 51, and you can see, you know, my most used attacker was Professor X. Now let's take a look at the end of the war stats. And these are the final stats. We ended up winning this war, so we secured top 10. Shout out to Karate Mike, Super Sam, and B McG for the MVPs. It's been a fun season, and see you guys in the next one.